Okay, so this is recording. I'm doing this in Zoom. I'm going to take my glasses off because they're glaring. This is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring in Seattle. It is September 21st, 2021. How does it feel to be gagged and censored? How does it feel to be told that free speech is dangerous? How does it feel to be virtue signal cancel cultured if you don't believe in the very narrow things that we're allowed to believe in about certain topics? I'm not even going to say. I'm going to try to see if I can say what I want to say without saying anything that will get me in trouble from the expression police, from the free speech police that we have monitoring the algorithms or the creative expression of me as a human. One of my relatives said to me, why don't you just ignore everything online and just do what you love with your life and try to tune everything else out? I mostly agree with that advice, especially because right now we are bombarded with so much information, whether it's alternative ideas or mainstream ideas about anything, about what our opinions should and shouldn't be, about what we're supposed to think and do with our bodies and with our minds and with our time on this planet. Technology can be very amazing, but it can also be a Frankenstein nightmare. I think some of the ways in which humans experiment with technology and with biological life is positive and negative. I think if I'm really vague, I can say certain things, but I'm feeling really uncomfortable, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm fully happy about being told that free speech is very dangerous and that I need to be protected from critical thinking, whether it's my own critical thinking or somebody else's critical thinking. But at the same time, I kind of envy Amish people. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. But when I say I envy Amish people, I like that Amish people are separate from the regular culture that I live in. And I actually think it's physically healthy to not be so caught up in electricity and like digital, like I'm looking at myself on my webcam screen, like to be caught up in digital screens all the time and constantly be listening to the news or constantly be wanting to know what's going on out there in the big world, and to kind of lose sight of what's happening with your own family and friends or your own personal life. I think we're encouraged to believe that it's selfish and narcissistic. If I focus on myself, then I'm a narcissist, apparently. I mean, this is what some people are saying to each other, not just to me, but I've seen other people judge and harass and criticize other people for saying that they're self-centered in a bad way. But when actually being self-centered can be a very good thing, in terms of if you're constantly focused on what other people are doing that you don't agree with, then it's like you're a police, you're policing the public, you're policing other civilians. That's kind of exhausting. I find myself feeling exhausted. Like I can feel all the different opinions people have and what people think about what you should and shouldn't do. And we are told to behave in a certain way. We are told we are bad people if we do certain things and good people if we do other things. And this is getting really intense. And I am feeling like a frog in some water, and the heat is being turned up, 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 up. How do you like them apples? How do you like the emperor's new clothes? Is that a great outfit or what? The sky is purple and the tree leaves are red and the ground is blue. So I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm choosing to make a video. I'm in the process of taking care of animals. I'm dog walking and cat sitting and house sitting, and I've been trying out different things, experimenting with things that are shifting in my life. And I feel alienated from one of my parents and then a little bit closer to another one of my parents. And yet the boundaries I have with both of my parents, I think, are not really entirely healthy. It's like I felt as a child, I was neglected and dominated at the same time. And I want to make the best of whatever I can have with each of my parents before they leave planet Earth, old age. They're both in their 70s. So I'm trying to make the best of it. I'm trying to make the best of whatever time I have left on this planet. I'm going to be 53 years old, October 25th, 2021, this year. I'm going to be 53 years old. I'll be 53 years old. So I just wanted to make this video to document how I feel. I feel scared, sad, lonely, frustrated. Also, I feel grateful. My situation is such that I have a certain amount of freedom left. I still have some freedom to think and do what I want and what I believe in for my health. And I really like the forest and I love plants and animals. I love caring for animals. And today I got to smell some goats, which might sound silly, but it melts my heart. Like literally, I feel some love and meltiness in my heart when I'm around goats and when I'm around farm animals. And maybe I had goats in junior high, and my grandfather was raised on a farm in North or South Dakota. And I love animals and I love plants, and I'm very sensitive to smell of nature. I don't really like fake air freshener type smells, but I like herbal, organic, like frankincense and myrrh, like organic herbal soap, and like incense and sage and eucalyptus trees. I love the smell of the earth. When you walk in the forest on a sunny day and that the sunshine heats up the pine needles, the smell of tree sap, the smell of, there's so many good smells in the world, and I'm talking with my hands. So I'm doing art modeling less for a variety of reasons that I won't get into. And I'm happy to kind of take a rest, because being a full-time art model has been really tiring over the last 29 years. And I love the work, but now I'm taking a breather from working so much in that field, and I'm morphing it to my artwork, my online stuff. I have a couple subscription websites that people can join. And I also have a way of working with animals that I'm starting to do. And also I'm having an opportunity to take more rest, to literally rest more, to sleep more, and to walk in the forest by myself without my tracking device, whatever you want to call it, without my internet device, whatever you want to call it. Thankfully, my camera is not hooked into Wi-Fi, so I can walk around nature with my camera and take beautiful photos of plants and animals and water droplets, or do selfies or videos, little monologues out in the forest. So to focus on myself and my family and my friends, to think about my own local community instead of being so obsessed. So Amish people are like some of the Amish people's strict religious beliefs I wouldn't like, and they also don't really allow a lot of creative, like they make furniture and quilts, but they have to do it in a traditional Amish way, and they're not really allowed to invent like a new design or, that part would bother me. But being close to the earth and focusing on your family and friends and your local community and helping each other and eating, working on farms and close to the land with plants and the animals and being literally on the earth every day outside, it just seems very healthy and refreshing. So if I had to change my lifestyle, I would want to live closer to nature, closer to a farm. Maybe I would live in a regenerative agriculture farm and work the farm and help harvest plants and animals and help grow nature. I want to stay close to nature. And so Amish people, to me, I just think that their lack of electrical, they're not exposed to all the electromagnetic, fields that we are, and they're not obsessed with the news and the media and arguing about which message to listen to and which message to label as wrong and ignore and censor and all that kind of stuff. So like they're focused. I imagine like the leader of the Amish community maybe learns a little bit about what's happening in the outside world and then reports back to the Amish community. But most of the Amish people don't use electricity and watch television and all that kind of stuff. And so it just seems like in some ways a much less stressful way of life, and that you're actually focused on real physical life with your family and your friends and your animals on your farm, and working, taking care of your house and your farm and your land and doing your laundry and cooking and cleaning and doing normal domestic things with your family and your local community. That just seems like really healthy to me in a way that a lot of our modern civilization has lost touch with. And we're just sitting there watching like I love movies and fiction and fantasy, but at the same time, and I like documentaries. But then you realize that's a version of reality. And then maybe we're missing our own lives because we're so obsessed with what they're saying in the media that's whatever, true or false or whatever. What are we supposed to do, think, be? And then there's like a script being repeated and regurgitated by people, and people are like parrots imitating what they hear, not realizing that they're just repeating a script that they heard. And it may or may not be accurate, but I won't say anything specifically about what I think is true and what I think is false. I just believe in my right to question everything that's being said and done. But at the same time, I don't want to focus on the big world out there that I have no control over. What do I have control over? Not a whole lot. Mostly me and my life and my choices. I choose what I say yes and no to. I choose how I use my time. And sometimes I don't feel like that's my choice. I feel like a little feather in the wind being blown around by everything. And, like the Tom Petty song, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. I feel like maybe I need to listen to that song even more. I mean, I love Tom Petty, but I don't listen to his hits as much as his unusual songs, because those are my favorite songs. But the lyrics to I Won't Back Down are very helpful in these stressful times that we live in. Let's face it. When I feel like the world is pushing me around, it's like I need to stand my own ground and make choices that work for me. And I guess that's all. I guess I should cut this video short. I should just say I'm just checking in. This is September 21st, 2021. This is Shannon Nicole Kringen. I am a multimedia artist, and my website, shannonkringen.com. You can go check it out and join my membership only sites if you want. Just ask me. I don't know. Just life is today. I got to see an orangutan eat lettuce, and I got to watch a tiger pacing back and forth. It's sad to see animals in captivity, It's also sad to see humans in captivity. Humans are also now in captivity. Did you know? Animals are in captivity, and so are humans. We are destroying the habitat of a lot of these lions and tigers and bears and hippos and rhinos and all of that. And so today I got to see an orangutan eating lettuce. The orangutan looked pretty content. I got to see lions and tigers. I didn't see the bears today. I saw some wallaroos and emus and ostriches and zebras and giraffes. And I saw a beautiful snow leopard, which I took a beautiful portrait of the snow leopard. And I took a beautiful photo of a wasp or a hornet. I'm not sure if it was a wasp or a hornet. And I walked some dogs today that I love very much and have a friendship with. And I took care of a cat, my cat plus somebody else's cat. Last week I took care of a third cat, and I've been walking these dogs, I think, since June. And I'm very grateful to have these relationships with these animals and to support myself by helping animals and loving them, caring for them, feeding them, walking them, giving them affection, all that jazz. So I'm really grateful, and I hope that I can stay focused on what I can do to make my life have the most meaning and be as authentic as possible and live my ethics and navigate the gag, order, censorship, new virtue signal, cancel culture way that we're supposed to be right now. And but at the same time, I'm very grateful about the certain freedoms that I do have, which I don't even want to mention because I don't want to feel like I'm explaining or defending my right to even exist. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for nature. I'm grateful for the plants, the animals, the ecosystems, the earthworms, the microbes in the soil. I wish we could regenerate all of the soil all over the planet. Regenerative agriculture would be wonderful. If more extremely wealthy, powerful people would be into funding regenerative agriculture, that would be amazing, as well as just regular average people who are not wealthy and famous and powerful. Because everyone has their own personal power. Like every single human has their own personal power, even if we're told otherwise. We all have our own personal power, and every single person on this planet has an effect on the planet. So I do believe in that, empowering myself and encouraging others to do what they love and not feel like they have to be bossed around by bullies in more ways than one. I used to think it was mostly about personal bullies. Now I realize it's also about bullies in a whole new way, if you catch my drift. But okay, well, yeah. So thanks for listening. Catch you next time.